So for those who are not familiar with 1 Million Cups, 1 Million Cups is a Kaufman Foundation program that started in 2012. The way it works is we invite an entrepreneur to speak for 6 minutes and tell us a story and their journey about their business. So we have a great entrepreneur here, sitting here, her name is Starlitt Miller. This is a great opportunity for us to actually create an ecosystem of entrepreneurs. So Starlitt Miller, she's a business consultant, an accounting advisor, and a workflow strategist here in Columbia, South Carolina. She is the founder and operator of Star Accounting Business Solutions, where she actually helps small businesses get profitability, scale quickly, and what else?
Save time.
Yeah, save time. Okay, so let's introduce Star Miller. And Star, you have 6 minutes right now.
Okay. Good morning. Thank you so much, Sergio. I'm Starlitt Miller, and I am very happy to speak with you all this morning. I just wanted to share my story. I'm deep in the middle of the journey through Star Accounting Business Solutions, SOBS as the acronym, and I would like to start off with just some background. So for me, as a child, I knew 2 things. I knew that I loved the subject math, and I was creative. Did I care about what that meant for the grand scheme of my life? Absolutely not. I knew that I loved to do long division, and I enjoyed reinventing my space in the room every 2 to 3 times a year. What I've learned as an adult is that this rings true to my gifts. This rings true to what fulfills me. That's math and being creative. What does this mean for my life now? You'll soon find out as I'm also going through the journey myself. As a youth, I ventured into the arts as performing arts. For me, dance was a passion of mine, and I discovered that as a high schooler once I started training. I've also I was appreciated through my mom using me and leveraging my skills and being analytical and organizer as I would go to her office often to help her out with her small businesses as well as just her as a businesswoman in general. Fast forward to 8 years ago, 2010, I was 21, newly married with a toddler, relocated to the Midlands. Knew no one besides my spouse's immediate family. I had to reinvent myself and take the tools that I had that I knew growing up. I was a working student since I graduated high school. I always pursued my higher education in addition to working full-time. What that has built for me is resiliency and the ability to juggle and manage. But one thing that I realized when I look back on my upbringing as I intentionally choose to develop myself personally and professionally is that there were a few takeaways from growing up. I realized that I knew what made me tick, math and being creative. I had a vision for my career as a teenager that my goal was to become a performance art professional. I started a family a little bit earlier than I expected, but that's just one of those things that you come up against, and I think we all as adults can realize that we came up against some things. You have to make choices, so I made the best out of it. What I also experienced was being appreciated for my strengths. My mom utilizing my organizational skills and analytic skills in her business not only gave me exposure and experience, it also showed what it feels like to be in an environment where you're appreciated. When you're faced with trials, you learn to assess the options, and this is one thing that I've taken with me and moving into my business. Figure out what options you have, leverage that, and keep it moving and persevere. What this has birthed in terms of both my artistic side and my analytical skill set is that I birthed 2 businesses. One, I Am Art, was established in 2015, and Star Accounting and Business Solutions. This, and the reason that I highlight these 2 things is because it's an equal part of both of who I am. Creative, analytical, with the skill set to build the foundation, and that's the commonality between the 2 companies. More about Star Accounting and Business Solutions. I did not set out to say, I'm going to start an accounting business. It was one of those things where I was solving a problem for myself. What I wanted was ownership of my time, the ability to go on a field trip with my daughter if I choose to have agency over what I am doing and leveraging the skills that I've already built in corporate America. What I also realized that I enjoyed was working with small business owners. I worked for a local CPA firm in public accounting, and it was there that I got the experience, hands-on experience working with small business owners in different industries. The diversity of dealing with their books and the chart of accounts and helping them work through some of their operational issues really gave me what I needed and what I was missing from the private sector in accounting. And then for me to solve those problems, I figured, well, I'm well overqualified to be a bookkeeper. Let me leverage the skills that I have to start doing it on my own. So really the goal was to avoid going to a 9-to-5 when I started this entity. And it was established in 2017, but it wasn't until summer of last year that I decided to business develop for the company full-time. No net, really. I just jumped right into it and started establishing more of my clients. At that time, I had 4 clients handling some of their books, and I decided that it was worth me investing my time, energy, and resources in something that I own and I have autonomy over versus going into getting a job. What I also noticed was that there was a gap. Working for the CPA firm, I realized that we do a lot of the accounting in that setting typically for the sake of a tax return. But what wasn't happening for small business owners was that they weren't getting the information throughout the year to understand what is needed for their company. How do we make decisions? If there's anything for tax savings, we need to handle it during the year and not after the year is done when it's tax time. So the way that I help small business owners is through bookkeeping, cash or accrual, reporting, payroll taxes, sales taxes, as well as QuickBooks. QuickBooks advisory, consulting, like training, desktop to online conversions, software integration and management, setup and cleanup. I'm a QuickBooks Advanced Pro Advisor. I got trained on the system because that's a primary system that a lot of small business owners are using. So leveraging not only the technology in QuickBooks, but other applications that surround it to help automate and streamline the process. This is where I get really passionate. Automating and streamlining the systems for small business owners is huge because it's a time saver and it's what we all need when you're running your own business, whether as a solopreneur or a team of 3 or 4. And the focus really is the adding value. So the goal and the mission for the company is to save you time, to leverage technology for strategy, and also produce results for you. And it looks like I'm out of my time. So really what I want from you all here is to give some suggestions, and these are some of my challenges. And I'm Starlitt Miller with Star Accounting Business Solutions.